Hello, my name is Lucas, this is a bit of lit, and I wanted to talk to you about Sylvia Moreno-Garcia's Mexican Gothic. She is a Mexican-Canadian speculative fiction author, also known for her Nebula Award-nominated Best Novel for 2019, Gods of Jade and Shadow, which I have not read, but I will be on the lookout for, because I thoroughly enjoyed Mexican Gothic. It is a tale about an upper-class socialite woman and her cousin, who marries into a family that has this very strange sort of haunted house, high place. And Noemi, I hope I'm saying it right, Noemi, she's our main character. She gets a letter from Catalina, her cousin, which sounds desperate and terrifying and like she needs to get out and escape. And so she goes very, very early into the book to this house to get a feel for things. She sees Catalina seems in much better spirits than what her letter let on. But there is a strange sort of mystery, and she's getting these sort of visions and starting to sleepwalk again, which she hasn't for a long time, at least ever since she was a child. And we get this family patriarch who is an antagonist in his own right, as well as his children in some way, who is deeply disturbing in his passion for eugenics. This house was built by some English people who brought English soil to plant English plants, and funding everything with their silver mine. And with this mine they had miners and workers building the house, building everything, mining silver, and people start dying. And it is full of these creepy moments and strange and disturbing metaphors that come to a close at the end. I think they are well executed. The way, there's this fungus that's growing, and it goes from the cemetery to the house, and it's sort of all over the place. It's in the house, it's in everything. And I won't get too into it, but I feel like this metaphor works. Especially, it is interesting to see fungus being so openly focused on. There's a character in here that his passion is fungi and mushrooms and stuff, and he is so passionate about it that even though Noemi is not interested in it, Noemi takes a liking initially to this passion, and I think that's really interesting. There's also this sort of metaphor going on with a snake biting its tail, sort of ouroborous. I hope I'm saying that right. And these things are all sort of interconnected with each other. This haunted house, the fungus, the ouroborous, and the story of the miners that went on strike during the revolution. And this is set in 1950s Mexico. So one of the revolutions before 1950. And yeah, it's a really, once you get to the thick of things, at the end, when all the layers are pulled away and you get to the core of this haunting, it is deeply disturbing. And I was sort of okay with the book. There were parts I liked and some parts of the prose that I was thinking, this is alright. But then we finally get to the tail end, the last quarter, and the first 3 quarters, don't get me wrong, I was engaged with it, but the last quarter was just like just a thrill ride, and I loved it. So, I highly recommend it. It has this very much a vibe, like, it is a Gothic fiction, Mexican Gothic. It very much feels like Wuthering Heights in a way, and it also feels like Jane Eyre. And, I'm sure it would feel a little bit like Haunting on Hill House, maybe, I don't know, I have not actually read that book, but it is very Gothic, and that's all I gotta say. I highly recommend this book. I will be looking for other works by her, and yeah, that's that. I will say that some things that I wish that I saw more of before I end is that I wish there was even more about the story, about these miners and about the people of that time in the story, instead of these, we're introduced early on to this situation, and then, we have to learn the real truth of what happened. Of course, we get some story about the miners and what happened and what caused the strike and this kind of thing and what was going on in in Mexico. I do wish there was more of that political element for Mexico of the time, and a little bit more of the social status structure shown in different ways. It is there, but I was hoping to see more of that, and I was hoping to see more of the political atmosphere of Mexico of the time. And that said, it may not have that kind of thing as much as I would like, but it delivers in plenty of ways, so I think you will enjoy it, because it is classy and trashy, as I think the author said in a Goodreads interview. So, yeah, it's good fun. Thank you. Goodbye.